What's up, y'all? My name's Destiny, if you're new here. If you're not new here, you might have seen me doing some videos back in the pandemic days. But now we got a whole new vibe going on. I'm doing a whole new series called Life Right Now. It's basically talking about day-to-day life challenges, also just talking about the weird period of your end of your 20s and just kind of going through life. So join me monthly. I'm going to drop an episode every last day of each month, and we're just pretty much going to yap and talk. So join me. Alright, so let's really get into it. So as you can see, the first episode says life right now sucks, because life right now sucks for me. So let's pretty much get into it. I am going to be using my phone as kind of like my guide on just the different topics I'm going to talk about. So let's pretty much get into it. So life right now sucks. Multiple reasons. Our economy is pretty high right now. That sucks. The man in the White House sucks. Everything just kind of sucks right now. But personally, for me, I did just kind of go through a little bit of a hardship. So about 2 weeks ago, I did lose my job. I worked at a popular insurance company for about 3 years as a claims adjuster, and after those 3 years, learned a lot, and I was unfortunately let go for those reasons there. When I initially did get let go, I was pretty, accepting of it. I wasn't like too sad, but it still kind of happened at like a weird spot to where it's just like the holidays are coming up, bills coming up as well. So it's just kind of like, dang, what am I gonna do? So for a moment I did feel kind of stuck, like what's gonna happen next, basically. So for me, one thing that keeps me afloat is just taking everything day by day. I will say most recently over the holidays I did go through, I guess maybe you can call it seasonal depression. I just had this was just like one of those days where it was just like pretty rough. Like one thing happened after another, and I just kind of hit my boiling point. So I remember going out to eat. So I just went to a restaurant just to kind of take my mind off things, and the waiter that I had there, which normally most waiters, they go around and just say, hey, is everything okay? And so the waiter came by, he was like, yeah, is everything all right? And I was like, fine, yeah, everything's fine. And I just remember being at the restaurant and I just could not stop crying, like profusely crying, like couldn't get my like thoughts together. I was just like very sad and very much so at a low point, and I couldn't figure out mentally how to get out of that. I just felt very low, like a very dark cloud was over me, if that makes sense. So that then led into like very negative thoughts. Ultimately I had thoughts that I didn't want to be on this earth anymore, and I had never in my life like had any thoughts like that. Like I've had some rough times in life, but it ain't never got to the point where it's just like I want to unalive myself. So but yeah, that was pretty rough. So like a good 48 hours I was just kind of in this weird dark phase. But one thing I will say is leaning on your family. That is, one thing that I would stress to anybody that's, in that same mind frame or going through a tough time, is relying on your family to kind of get you through it. I never thought this would happen to me at 28. Never thought this would happen to me. I've always left a job before they even, think about letting me go, or I've pivoted before, even comes to that point. So like just with this happening at this particular time, and then just very like unexpectedly I got let go, was just weird, to say the least. So I'm still kind of going through it just kind of day by day. Yeah. Every day is not easy. Some days I'm up here. Some days I'm down here. So I'm just kind of taking it day by day. Yeah. One thing that getting fired from my job did kind of change my outlook on is just not staying stagnant in a position. I will say that in the 3 years that I was working at this auto insurance company, I seen a lot. We had a lot of different things happen. I remember back in 2023, October 2023, we had a very big layoff where a lot of people lost their jobs. And I mean, fortunately in that space, I, was safe. So I just kind of was just like, ooh, okay. That was one big hurdle that I kind of went over. But I think towards the last year of working for the company, I came pretty stagnant in the position. I was just like, well, I'm gonna ride it out as long as I can. I didn't want to, it was hard trying to just figure out what's the next step, just trying to do as much as I could. But ultimately, I think God knew what to do, and God knew that being in the position that I was in the previous position I was in, God knew that He needed me to shift. So I'm still trying to find the silver lining of all of this, but yeah, I'm taking it day by day as we speak. So yeah, what I want most of my listeners and viewers to look out for this series is basically just growth. So losing a job is not easy, but you gotta pick yourself up and try again, just like Aaliyah says. So I'm hoping that the things that I have kind of shared to kind of help someone else, that may be in the same position that I'm in, or maybe had just gone through a hardship. So ultimately, I just want to be able to share my story through this medium, because some people, they write in journals. Some people, take it up to God, and I just figured, hey, I got a film degree. Why don't I just put 2 and 2 together? So still be in my film bag, but also work on healing by talking about it. So I figured that'd be a way for me to kind of go through it. So, but yeah, be on the lookout for my episodes. I'm going to drop an episode every month. So you'll get the next one probably New Year's Eve around that time. But I'll drop an episode every month, just kind of recapping the previous month of like new things and new occurrences, things like that. And we're just growing together, and follow me. Also, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way you can get notifications on each episode that drops. So, thanks.